will start.
ఇది ఈ చార్ట్ ఏంటంటే this I have got two charts I want to go with today.
Okay. Tell me the first chart data.
First chart data is
May 21,
1980.
May 21, 1980.
4:21 p.m.
4:21 p.m.
Mumbai, India.
Female, huh?
Female.
Mumbai, India. Okay.
Her data is she is working here.
How should I save it?
Mugda.
Mugda. Sessions exam.
Yeah.
Okay.
దీంట్లో ఐ హ్యావ్ ఏ సజెషన్ అంటే సజెషన్ ఒకటి ఇది ఇప్పుడు ప్రిఫర్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ వెళ్తే రైట్ నౌ ఐ సెలెక్టెడ్ దిస్ బట్ వీ డోంట్ నో వన్స్ వీ ఓపెన్ ఏ చార్ట్ విచ్ ఇస్ ద డిఫాల్ట్ అందుకని ఇక్కడ టిక్ పెడితే ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది
బేసికలీ హియర్ సమ్వేర్ హియర్ వాట్ ఈస్
కరెంట్లీ చూజన్ ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఒకటే ఓన్లీ వన్ వీ హ్యాడ్ సో దట్ డిడ్ంట్ మేక్ ఎ డిఫరెన్స్ ఇదివరకు దేర్ ఇస్ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆప్షన్ నౌ ది ఆప్షన్స్ ఆర్ గ్రోయింగ్ సో విచ్ వన్ ఇస్ కరెంట్లీ సెలెక్టెడ్ అని టిక్ ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది.
Okay. The only problem is whatever you select, on top of it you may have made some more changes. You may not be using one of the standard choices.
That is true, but what will happen is this is the base.
Right.
On top of it the changes are made.
Yeah, base can be shown. There can be a tick here.
Yeah.
I'll look at that.
Hello, కనిపించింది.
Yeah.
Right now I choose recommended by author.
Right.
So with this when I see I've gone to her Navamsa and go to Dasas, chosen the Vimshottari with D9.
Yeah. So what is the question? What is the data?
Question is,
what is the question?
Data we have is May 21, 1980.
No, that data.
The data that we have on this is
education data. Any events, what do we know?
She is basically a software engineer.
Yeah.
She is very intelligent, works very hard. She is
Intelligent and hard worker.
Intelligent, hard worker.
She is a software engineer, intelligent, hard worker.
Hard worker. She is very happy with work and good recognition and working very well.
Okay.
Successful career for her as far as she is concerned. She is not getting married.
Not getting married. Yeah.
So last year when I saw the chart, I told her that sometime this April onwards is good. And from April they got couple of offers. Everything was looking after April.
Yeah.
They had couple of offers which were pretty close to looking like they will materialize. But for some reason that did not materialize.
So after April some matches came close but did not fructify.
Correct. 2 matches came close, they didn't fructify.
Yeah.
And yesterday they were with me asking, they are now looking into somebody else.
Yeah.
Will this go through or will there be an issue?
Okay. Looking at one more match now.
Correct.
Okay. So basically is the time right for getting married right now. Okay. First let us see.
So yesterday when I saw this, I told them that things are not looking favorable till May of 2013.
Okay.
So
First let us see the Dasyamsa before going to Navamsa. See, the Lagna is on the border. It is the last, it is the fag end of Virgo. This may be Virgo, end of Virgo or even beginning of Libra.
In the Samsa?
No, in Rasi.
In Rasi.
Lagna is 29 degree 46 minutes. So this may, even in the Rasi chart, Lagna may change if the time is off by 1 minute or 1 minute 2 seconds or something like that. So 1 minute 2 seconds it will change. So that will change the Dasyamsa Lagna and Navamsa Lagna. So let us go to Dasyamsa. Right now, the Dasyamsa Lagna is Aquarius. If the time is off, it will be Libra.
There are 2 copies, so I can do one.
So right now the Lagna is Aquarius with the time that we have. Because see, in Virgo, Dashamsa starts from the 9th house. The 11th from the 9th house and go 10. So Aquarius is the last Dashamsa of Virgo. When it goes to Libra, the first Dashamsa of Libra will be Libra itself.
Correct.
In our sign it starts from the sign itself. So from Aquarius Dashamsa will jump to Libra Dashamsa. The time is off by 1 minute, 1 minute 2 seconds. So let us consider both Aquarius and Libra in the Dashamsa.
And see what makes sense.
And see which one makes sense. And what do we know? Her career is good.
Career is good and hardworking, intelligent in the career.
Yes. So let's go to Dashamsa Vimshyotri Dasha. And also look at the Dashamsa by itself, statically. So with this chart, the Dasha running right now is the Vimshyotri Dasha of Dashamsa that is running right now is Mars Dasha. Okay? Mars Dasha is giving recognition, success, she is happy.
Correct.
Now, if Aquarius is taken as the Lagna, Mars is the 10th lord of career from Aquarius. And he is in the 11th house of fructification of
Which makes sense.
desires.
Which makes
And he is aspecting the 5th lord Mercury in own house. 5th lord Mercury in own house, he shows recognition.
That makes
So
good
10th and
sense.
5th lord Samsattvika is Rajoga. And moreover, this is the Mars Dasha running right now. So this is a very good Dasha.
And she's also an engineer, so Mars possibly shows that line.
Yeah, Mars can show engineering. Moreover, Mercury in own sign is aspecting 10th lord Mars. And if you look at the 10th house from Moon, 10th house from Sun, 10th house from Lagna, all those things, right? From Sun, Mars is in the 10th house.
Correct. That makes sense.
And moreover, Mercury is aspecting the 10th house from Sun. So, from Moon, if you take the moon, 10th house from Moon, that is Taurus. And it is not aspected by anybody, but its Lord Venus is aspected by Mars.
Its Lord Venus is aspected by Mars.
Moreover, Mars is Yogakaraka from this Lagna. Mars is the Yogakaraka from Leo, and he is aspecting the 10th lord.
Leo, Mars is the Yogakaraka and aspect.
He is aspecting the 10th lord. So the thing is, from Sun, from Moon, and from Lagna. From Sun also, he is the 9th lord in the 10th house. So giving a Rajoga with Mercury. Mercury is the 7th and 4th lord. So 4th and 7th lord Mercury and 9th lord Mars from Sun. I'm seeing now. So from all the 3 differences, Mars is involved in a nice yoga.
So that makes sense that Mars could be
And Mars basically shows success in career. So from Moon also he is in the 5th house. From Lagna he is aspecting 5th house. From Moon he is in the 5th house. And from Sun he is aspecting the 5th house. From Moon he is in the 5th house. From Sun he is aspecting the 5th house. Right?
Yeah.
And from Lagna he is aspecting the 5th house and 6th lord. So he is basically 5th is for recognition. So Mars is having an influence on the 5th house of recognition as well as 10th house of work. So Mars Dasha giving all this success makes very good sense. So most likely this is correct.
So
It
in
means
case
in
if you take
Navamsa also Lagna is Virgo only. Otherwise it would have been Libra.
correct.
Time changes, it would have been Libra Navamsa. So we'll take the Virgo Navamsa.
Okay.
And go to Vimshyotri Dasha of Navamsa now. So again, the Dasha running right now is Mars Dasha. Okay?
Mars, correct.
Mars Dasha is running.
To 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
So if we go into further, it will be Sun Dasha from 2000. Okay. Right now she is running Ketu. She is running Mercury.
Antardasha. But
Sun
let's see the
Mercury
Dasha.
Antardasha.
And let's see if the chart itself is actually good. The blessing in this chart is the Lagna Lord Mercury and is in one house, in the 10th house. And the 7th Lord Jupiter is with him. So Lagna Lord, 7th Lord together giving a Rajoga. And Lagna Lord is very strong. So that is the blessing in this chart. The weakness in this chart is the 8th house is having Moon and Rahu.
Eclipse on the Moon.
Yeah. So Moon is in Manakarkasthana, eclipsed by Rahu. And moreover the Dasha running right now. Until 2007 it was a Dasha of Moon. Moon in the 8th house is unlikely to give marriage. And now the dasha is that of Mars. Mars is the 8th lord. Good thing is he is debilitated. Functional malefic, debilitation is good. So his debility is good, but the thing is he is not. And does he have anything to do with the 7th house? Is he aspecting 7th house from Lagna? No. Aspecting 7th lord? No. He doesn't have much to do with the 7th house. Right? And moreover, he has to do with the 8th house. 8th house is disappointment, frustration, anxiety, etc. So
which is what is there right now.
Which is what is there right now, unfortunately. So this, and from Sun, if you see, the 7th house, does he have anything to do with Mars? The 7th from Sun is Virgo. Mars is not aspecting it, not aspecting his lord. He has Argada on it. So there is some influence, but it's not really that strong. Secondly, from Moon, take the 7th house. Mars is aspecting the 7th house from Moon.
But we felt that the main Mahadasha is going to be long period, so we will only look at...
I know, but the thing is, if the Mahadasha is really bad, if Mahadasha has some
influence, then Antardasha can narrow down.
Some reasonable indications, then you can use the Antardasha. The thing is, if Mahadasha is not even showing anything, it is totally off, then maybe the whole Mahadasha may not be
of what?
Or some strong remedies are needed. So here, the only link he has is from Moon. The 7th house is affected by Mars, and the dispositor of the 7th house, Venus, is in Mars house. So from Moon, Mars is having a link with the 7th house. But from Sun and Lagna, he doesn't have much to do with the 7th house. Okay?
This is the reason I asked Parivartana, because Moon Mars 16.
Yeah, we'll ignore the Parivartana. Okay. Now the thing is, 8th house from Sun, Mars is aspecting it. And 8th lord from Sun is in Mars house.
Correct.
And 8th house from Moon is owned by Mars. And the 8th house from Lagna is again owned by Mars.
So there is an influence of 8th house and not 7th house.
There is a strong influence from all references. So Mars is actually a main planet for the 8th house rather than 7th house in this chart. And that shows anxiety and tensions rather than getting married and having a nice and smooth marriage. Whereas if you see Dashamsha, he was having a role in both 10th and 5th houses from all three references.
Correct.
So Mars was excellent in career. But unfortunately in marriage it doesn't seem to be so. And if you see just to see whether there is any hope in the next Dasha, see the Rahu Dasha. Rahu, does he have anything to do with the 7th house? Not really. He is not aspecting 7th or 7th lord. From Lagna, from Sun also same. From Moon, he is aspecting the 7th house. Okay, so Rahu doesn't show
from Moon, he is aspecting the 7th house?
Because he is in the 1st house, he aspects the 7th house.
Oh, right.
Right there. Okay, so the unfortunate thing is not only the current Dasha, which is of course till 2014, so there is a long way to go. Not only that, even the Dasha after that is not really conducive to marriage. So one thing you can say right away, even if this person gets married, marriage will be not so smooth. 8th house is because 8th house shows
a lot of anxiety.
So a lot of anxiety, tension in the marriage will be there even after marriage. And of course, even to get married, she is experiencing a lot of trouble. So this will not be a smooth marriage. There will be some problems till Jupiter Dasha comes, 2031, which is way long, way into the future. Maybe by that time, maybe she retires or maybe she's too old to quarrel with the husband or whatever. Basically, until then, marriage will not be that smooth. So, one thing to say is, some strong remedies are needed in order to get married. Things are not really conducive. So, there are some problems in getting married and also keeping the marriage going without any divorce or anything like that. That is one
because
problem.
8th house is involved.
8th house is involved, so it can show divorce. So, that is one problem. And the second problem is, so strong remedies are needed even to get married and to continue the marriage. Now let's see the Antardasha.
Yes, that kind of makes sense that if I understand this person, I think she is strongly opinionated.
I see.
So that can trigger 8th house issues of tension and things like that.
Now the thing is, if you see the Antardasha right now, the Antardasha running right now that is that of Mercury, but very soon Ketu is coming, right? Very soon Ketu Antardasha is coming.
Correct.
And after that Venus Antardasha comes.
Mercury has some chance, but it's too short next.
Yeah, Mercury has some chance.
And that was possibly what was making from in this year some moment come.
With some remedy. See, the thing is Mahadasha lot is not at all conducive. So with some strong remedies, Mercury may have given marriage because he is after all Lagna Lord. He is the 7th Lord from Sun. He is the Lagna Lord from. He is with the 7th Lord from Lagna, and he is. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to do with the 7th from Moon, but he has a link with 7th from Lagna and 7th from Sun. Now look at Ketu. The next one is Ketu. Does Ketu have a chance of marriage? He is in the 7th from Moon, but he doesn't have anything to do with the 7th from Lagna and 7th from Sun.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But the thing is, he has a trinal relationship. He is in a trine from the 7th Lord from Lagna as well as Sun. And some people actually take the aspects, trinal aspect of Ketu, just like Rahu. Some people say Ketu has no aspect, but there are versions of BPHS where Rahu and Ketu are both given trinal aspects, 7th aspect and trinal aspects.
Okay.
So based on that, Ketu has aspect on the 7th Lord, Jupiter from Lagna, 7th Lord Mercury from Sun, and he is in the 7th from Moon. So he is, based on that approach, he has a potential to give marriage. Okay. So Ketu has a chance to give marriage. And the next one is Venus. Venus is the 7th Lord from Moon, and he is the Karka. And from Lagna he is the 9th Lord. From Sun he is in the 9th house. So the thing is, though he doesn't have anything to do with the 7th house, he has the 9th house.
And he is
the
Karaka for this.
So he can give marriage. But my feeling is Ketu may actually be the one. Ketu is in a friendly sign. He is in Admitra Rasi. He is very powerful there in this chart. He is in Admitra Rasi, and he is in the 2nd house of family from Lagna, and he is the dispositor of the 2nd house of family from Moon. 2nd house from Moon is Taurus. The Lord Venus is in Ketu's house. So he is the dispositor of 7th Lord from Moon. He is aspecting the 7th house from Sun, taking aspects of Ketu, and he is the...
Who is aspecting 7th house from Sun?
Ketu.
Ketu is aspecting 7th house.
7th house from Sun, taking 7th and trinal aspects of Ketu.
Or taking the trinal.
So he is aspecting 7th from 2nd from Sun. He is the dispositor of 2nd Lord from Venus, and he is in the 2nd from Lagna. So he has a link on, he has an influence on the 2nd house from all the 3 differences. 2nd house is family. So basically he can, there is a chance of, okay, and he has a link with the 7th house also. He is in the 7th from Moon, aspecting the 7th Lords from Lagna and Sun. Moreover, he is in a trine from them. He has a nice relationship with them. Planets in mutual trines are conducive to each other. So there is a good chance that Ketu itself will give marriage. My feeling is the next few months are actually conducive. Let us see the
I was thinking Ketu and Venus didn't have much, so Sun would possibly be the one that will actually give the marriage.
Yeah, that is way into the future, but Ketu does have a chance in my view. But the problem is that Mars himself, Mahadasha Lord, is not really showing marriage. So Antardasha Lord is showing marriage, and Mahadasha Lord is not showing marriage. So some strong remedies are needed. We'll come to that later. But let's confirm in the Tadika chart. See the 2011 Tadika chart.
Correct.
The current year. How is this Tadika chart?
So when you go to Tadika, the Dasas, we are taking the regular Vimshottari.
Yeah, Vimshottari.
D9 Vimshottari.
D9 Vimshottari. Same we'll do in Tadika as well.
That's what I did.
Yeah. So first, I don't want to say it will happen in August or November, September, like this, February, like that. What I want to do is there a chance? So is the chart reasonably strong? That's basically what I'm going to look at. So in this Navamsa, 7th Lord Mercury is in 11th house of fructification of desires. Okay, he is in a friendly sign. He is in actually Admitra Rasi. So 7th Lord is very strong. Lagna Lord is not well placed. He is in a
7th Lord Mars, you mean?
No,
7th Lord Mars. Are you looking at Rasi, right?
Navamsa.
Navamsa. Okay.
So of course in the Rasi also you see 7th Lord in the 7th house, Lagna Lord in 7th house, 9th Lord in 7th house. There is an interesting combination in the 7th house of relationships. And in the Navamsa, 7th Lord is in Admitra Rasi. Mercury is in Admitra Rasi. Venus sign. Friend, and also he is so very close, so he is Admitra Rasi. With a friend Ketu, and the Lagna Lord is not well placed. Jupiter is in 6th house. He is not well placed. But the thing is, 7th Lord is very well placed. Okay. And what else is going on? The 5th Lord Mars is in 9th house. So Mars is very well placed. 5th Lord is in the 9th house. So
and with the Karaka.
Mars and Mercury are showing basically they are showing some potential. Mars and Mercury. And
Mars period is
Mars period is running right now. So that is when the talks are going on, first lord in the 9th. And Jupiter is, even though he is in the 6th house, he is basically the Lagna Lord. Right? Jupiter is the Lagna Lord. And not only from Lagna, he is the Lagna Lord from Sun and Moon also. See here, Sun and Moon are together.
Yeah.
So Sun and Moon will really dominate. So if you see Sun and Moon as Lagna, Lagna Lord is in the 3rd house aspecting 7th house. Lagna Lord Jupiter is in the 3rd house, Kama Trikona, aspecting 7th house. Lagna Lord Jupiter is in 3rd house, Kama Trikona, aspecting the 7th house. So, so Jupiter can give marriage. Moreover, he is Lagna Lord from the Navamsa.
So that will then 2012 January onwards makes better sense.
Yeah. And practically also, January end and February is when Mahamasam comes. There will be nice Muhurtas. So probably next year Mahamasa is something worth shooting for. There is a chance of marriage happening then. But it's not a done case because the Mahadasha itself is
not very conducive.
Is not conducive. Let's just check the Rajdasha. Charadasha of Dine. Go to the natal chart. Go to Charadasha of D9. Okay?
Charadasha of D9.
D9.
That is
Rajdasha. Select Charadasha.
Charadasha.
Parasara. Yes, we follow Parasara. We don't follow anybody else. D9. Second one. Okay. So, the Dasha running right now is that of
why did you choose Charadasha instead of Narayan Dasha we used to use?
We stopped Narayan Dasha long back. See, Narayan Dasha is from tradition. It's not really from any book. Even though it's attributed to one line of Taras Javini, it's not really a clear text.
But we have done so many charts on Narayan Dasha that makes sense.
I know, but the thing is, things do make sense, but the thing is...
how close to the percentage?
Yeah, the bottom line is how good are the predictions. And second thing is, those Navamsas and Dashamsas we have anyway rejected, based on which we calculated in Narayan Dasha. So what we are doing now is sticking to what we taught, what Parasara taught. And Parasara taught Sarvasa. And we discussed this earlier basically when we switched to Sursiddhanta about a year back. We discussed a lot of examples. There are much clearer cases with the Chartasa. The principles are much simpler. So if you use the Chardasha, what is the Dasha running right now? Until 2012 May, it is Aquarius Dasha.
Correct.
Right? So Aquarius Dasha is running. So Aquarius Dasha, can Aquarius Dasha give marriage?
Do we take this also, with Charadasha also, do we take it as 3 parts? That is a 3-part rule and all come into picture?
All that we don't. What we do is, what does that house show? How is the Lord placed? And taking that as Lagna, how is the chart? These are the basic things. So we will do that. So Aquarius is the 6th house, right?
That is the Mahadasha Lord.
Mahadasha Lord. Aquarius is the 5th house. 6th house. Honestly, compared to that, Pisces is a better dasha for getting married because it is the 7th house. Okay? That is one thing. The other thing is, if Aquarius is to give marriage, the only thing is this Lord Saturn. He is aspecting the Lagna Lord at 7th Lord. The Lord of Aquarius is aspecting those planets. So there is some chance of giving marriage. But the thing is, quite honestly, it's not showing marriage that well. But assuming that marriage happens, because we are looking at the next February time frame, assuming that marriage happens in this time period itself, if we see the transits, let's see February 1st.
Oh, you are not seeing the Pisces after May.
We'll go there later, but let's see how is February 2012. February 1st, 2012, how are the transits from Aquarius? Taking Aquarius as Lagna, how are the transits? So, see, the rule is when the Dasha Lord is, when the Lord of the Dasha sign is either transiting in the Dasha sign or aspecting it or exalted or in Moon sign, that Dasha will give very good results. So Saturn is moving to Libra swing.
Saturn is going back to... No, we don't need this basics.
Saturn is going to Libra swing. Right? So from Aquarius, the Dasha sign, this will be the ninth transit.
Correct.
So, the transit,
So Saturn can give marriage.
Yeah, basically Dasha Lord in the ninth house exalted can give marriage. So there is a chance of marriage during this period. So there is a possibility in the February time frame. So let us basically, and because of Vimshoti Dasha, based on Vimshoti also we arrived at this time, we will basically fix this. Now what we will do is we will give some remedial measures.
And the earlier remedies that I gave her were to propitiate Lakshmi and fast on Saturdays. That is as per our earlier understanding, logic.
That is perfectly fine. And one more thing is,
Now I
Lord
suggested
Mercury in the Navamsa, Lagna Lord Mercury is in one sign. He is very strong. Right? In the
Correct.
Navamsa. So Mercury can be strengthened. That is one way to do it. The other way is
strengthening Moon and Rahu combination propitiate to Durga.
Especially Mars. Dasha is running right now. Based on Navamsa Nishatri. And Mars is the 8th Lord. So he is the one denying the marriage. He is the one giving delay in the marriage. So for that Mars, especially he is with Rahu. Moon is with Rahu. So Moon Rahu combination Mars. Some fierce devata.
I suggested Durga.
Durga is fine. Durga is definitely a good idea. Moon and Rahu. Yeah, actually she can take care of Mars also. Tributary Mars also. So either Durga or Subramanya. For Mars we can suggest Subramanya, and for Rahu also Rahu shows Sarpas. And Subramanya is associated with them. So looking at Rahu as well as Mars, the other possibility is Subramanya. Worshipping Subramanya with the Subramanya some prayer. That is what I would suggest. That is a very good. Moreover, the thing is in the natal Rashi chart also, the 12th house has bunch of planets. Mars and Rahu are there. Reasonably close.
Okay.
So Mars Rahu combination in the 12th house. So based on all these things, I think worship of Subramanya will be very beneficial to her. So tell her to worship Subramanya.
And continue with Durga or don't Durga? Durga
is okay, but in my opinion, Subramanya is better. Mars, if you focus on Mars, stronger.
So what form of Subramanya Kavacham or Astakam or
any
what?
prayer of Subramanya, I'll say is fine. Subramanya Ashtam is very nice because especially it is praying to Subramanya as the husband of Valli. So basically you are worshipping Subramanya as husband of a devata. So basically that is auspicious for getting married.
Is the Mula Mantram with Bijaksharas good to suggest to them?
Yeah, that is fine.
Om Aim Him Sriman then that thing.
Yeah. Yes. One more thing I can suggest is she is living in US, right?
Correct.
Then it will be different. But if she can go to India, if she is planning to go to India anytime soon, or on the next trip to India, there is one place. Why I am suggesting is there is a Rahu influence and also Mercury is very strong. So there is a place called Srinivasa Mangapuram.
Correct. No.
Near Tirupati.
Correct.
That is where Srinivasa and Padmavati, Lord Venkateshwara and Padmavati got married. It's a very powerful place. Actually, it's better than even actual Tirupati. If you go there and sit and meditate, you will see that there is such calm energy compared to any other place. Much better than Tirupati actually. And there will not be any crowd there. If you go to Tirupati, there are so many crowds. Srinivasa Mangapuram, there are hardly any crowds. I'm not talking about Alveri Mangapuram. That is their Padmavati temple. This is another place. This is even further away. Srinivasa Mangapuram, very remote temple. There will be maybe a couple of priests and nobody there really. And if a Kalyanam can be performed there, they perform Srinivasa Kalyanam at that place instead of on the hill, instead of Tirupati. So get a Kalyanam performed in Srinivasa Mangapuram. Srinivasa Kalyanam performed there, and if possible visit there and pray to Srinivasa there. That can really, given that Mercury is a key planet in the Navamsa, that can really help her get married. So that is one suggestion I have, but it may or may not be practical given that she is in US. And then Subramanya. These are the two things I will suggest to her. And then there is a 30-70 or 40-60 kind of chance. It's not really a 100% chance. Because the
main Dasha itself is not very
conducive. There is a 30-70 chance. But with some prayer, that can be maximized. The probability can be maximized and hopefully she will get married in February. So,
but seeing the Navamsa 8th house being so strong with Rahu.
And the Dasha of that Lord running right now, that is unfortunate thing.
Correct.
Even with that Moon Rahu combination, suppose Mercury or Jupiter Dasha was running, things would have been fine.
But no, but this is something in her Navamsa, natal Navamsa, so this is something throughout her life she has got Moon Rahu thing.
Yeah.
So that is the reason I was
suggesting. A chart where
marriage is not a smooth marriage.
Right.
So that's the reason I was suggesting them Durga to continue for throughout the life.
That is perfectly fine. Durga is a good association. But what I suggest is, given that Mars is running right now, and Mars is the dispositor of Moon and Rahu, and Mars is also the 12th lord in the natal Rashi chart, pray to Subramanya for getting married, and then once marriage happens, maybe switch to Durga. Of course, if she has time, she can do both also. But to keep the marriage, Durga will be useful in the long run, basically, to keep the fights from being less. But to get married, a male devata, especially Subramanya, is a better idea.
And then also suggest the fast to be continued for life, if possible.
Yes.
Because that can help sustain the marriage.
Yes, that is true. Now, just to make one more point, Chaturthi Samadasya applies in Navamsa. If you use Chaturthi Samadasya,
Chaturthi Samadasya applies in Navamsa because
10th lord in
10th house.
Yeah. So make Chaturthi Samadasya. Okay. Mercury Dasha has started last year. Mercury is running right now. And Mercury is the Lagna Lord. So there is some hope. Basically, based on the conditional Dasha, there is some hope. See, Mercury is running right now. So there is some hope. So even though Mercury is not showing, this Dasha is actually showing some potential.
So things can materialize if they are already talking something that can materialize.
There is a chance. So bottom line is, tell her things are dicey. You basically have some weak vibrations in the horoscope, but there is some hope. Do some pujas. Every day, if she spends, for example, an half hour worshipping Subramanya, doing the prayer of Subramanya.
I suggested earlier to do Lakshmi, so they are continuing to pray the Lakshmi.
Okay.
So
Lakshmi is also good. I mean, any devata eventually will be good. If you are doing with a particular goal, that devata eventually will give you that. And Venus is here, the 9th lord.
I will also suggest them, since he is here, to come to our temple every Skanda Sashti.
Good.
Skanda Sashti, he can come here.
Good idea.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. So all the best.
Thanks, Andy. This is good.
You want to restart the recording and we'll see the other side.
Yeah. ఈ ఇంకో చార్ట్ ఇది డీటెయిల్ ఏంటంటే this boy, the data is September 4th, 1974.
September 4, 1974.
6:35 p.m.
6:35 p.m.
And
boy.
Kovur, India, boy.
K-U-K-O-V-V-U-R.
Correct. India.
So that will be 81 degrees, 44 minutes east, 17 degrees, 1 minute north, 5 or 30 minutes east of GMT. Okay.
Correct. And for change, now I have got my software updated, latest.
So what should we, how should I save it?
Subbarao.
So choose example. Okay.
So the chart notes in this case is, this boy got married on February, he is looking for a job.
Okay, one second. Got married on?
February 15, 2002.
Got married on February 15, 2002, okay.
And didn't have kids for a long time, and they have done a lot of...
didn't have kids?
For a long time.
Okay.
They have done different prayers and everything else, and they finally have a kid in 2007.
Finally, kid in 2007.
November 15, 2007.
November 15, 2007, there is a kid, okay.
Correct. And after
boy or girl?
It's boy.
Okay.
After the kid, his job is totally unstable since the kid is born. He lost his job and then has been doing some temporary jobs here and there, and it's been unstable.
Jobs here and there.
It's unstable.
Okay.
And now for the last, from June, he is out of job.
Out of job?
Since June 2011.
Since June 2011. Okay.
So they are worried about what is the combination, because since they had the kid, this is chart is something that it affected his career.
Okay.
So first thing I did was I looked at the Panchanga. I took his detail and looked at if kid is a Dhanishta Nakshatram. So I saw if there is any Shanti Nakshatram and if there is anything related. So Dhanishta didn't have anything.
Okay.
So
no other Sankranti Dosham, Sudosham, no.
I have kids chart also. I can
give me the kid data. Kid data.
Kid data is
November 15, 2007. That I know.
Correct. And time is worked 9:41 a.m. 9:41 a.m.
41 a.m.
Secunderabad, India.
Secunderabad, India. Okay. So you have the chart open.
Yeah.
So Lagna is Guru. Lagna is Dhanus with Guru in it. So that is good. Is there any? What is the Tithi? Shukla Saptami. Nivaram Dhanistha. Sun is at the beginning of 0. See, Scorpio he just entered. 0 degrees, 1 minute. Scorpio. So that is Sankranti. Sun is in the very beginning of Scorpio means he just Pushti Sankranti.
Sun is just
Sankranti Dosha Puja should be done. That is number 1. Okay. So Sankranti Dosha is there. Amavasya, Jyothishya, all those are not there. But so get Sankranti Dosha Shanti Puja.
Yep.
Okay. So that is one thing. And the procedure we explained before.
In the class,
audio will have it.
It's there in the BPHS store.
BPHS has it. So do that puja. Sankranti Dosha Puja. That is one thing. The second thing is when you open Dvadasamsa. I didn't make this chart. Dvadasamsa. So
Jupiter is also on a border.
That's okay. Being in the border is not the problem. If Sun has just entered the sign, then it is Sankranti. Now, Dvadasamsa, if you see, 9th house shows father. Right? Can you make Dvadasamsa Vinchotridasa?
Dvadasamsa Vinchotridasa.
So Dasa running, when the kid was born, the Dasa running is that of Rahu. Until 2017. So for father, Rahu Dasa is running. Okay. So
for father, Rahu Dasa is running.
For father, Rahu Dasa is running. Now, 1 second.
Why do we say for father? This is kid's chart, right?
I know. To see the parental matters.
Yeah.
Rahu Dasa is running. To see how things are for father during the Rahu Dasa of the child. Rahu's Dvasam 3. See 9 from Lagna, 9 from Sun mainly, also 9 from Moon. And see, but the thing is Sun and Lagna are more important than Moon when you are seeing father. So, 9 from Lagna is Capricorn.
It's Saturn and
Saturn is in Lagna, but the thing is Rahu Dasa is running. Rahu is in the 6th house, aspecting 12th house. Aspecting 12th lord with an inimical aspect. Jupiter and Rahu are
aspecting 12th house?
And
12th house from where?
From the father.
From the father. You are talking about from the father.
No, yeah, we are not seeing the child, we are seeing father now.
And it is Rahu Dasa. From father is 6th house aspecting 12th.
Capricorn shows father. So from Lagna. Similarly, from Sun, Cancer shows father.
Correct.
Right? So from both, see what is common. So in both, Rahu is basically in the 12th house here he aspects the 12th house. Aspects the 12th lord also. Okay, so aspecting the 12th house and 12th lord with an inimical aspect. Rahu basically doesn't like Jupiter, so Rahu's aspect on Jupiter is not good. So he has an inimical aspect on the 12th lord and 12th house, and he's in the 12th house from Cancer. So 12th house shows some losses, some compromises, etc. So that is one
Why
thing.
does it relate only to career for father?
I mean, it
can be anywhere.
See from this. Basically, it shows some losses for father, some disappointments and losses to the father. So that is what this Rahu Dasa shows for this person. But the thing is, after Rahu Dasa, Jupiter Dasa will come, right? So Jupiter, if you see from here, 6th lord in the 6th house, from here 12th lord in the 12th house. So Harsha Yoga and Vimla Yoga, that will be a better period. So until 2017, there may be some instability based on child's chart. The thing is, it's unfair to say it's happening because of him. There must be some indication in his own chart.
But this must be a coincidence.
But this is basically adding to it. This is adding.
So do we say that he propitiates to Rahu
No.
to help?
Forget it. We'll say propitiation from his
Only from his chart.
From his chart. But for the child, in the child's name, get the Sankranti Puja done.
Correct.
Okay? Let us see this person's chart.
This is I'm going to Dasamsa in this case.
Okay.
Dasamsa, Vimshotri. Here no conditional dasas are applicable, right?
Yeah.
Take straight Vimshotri.
Actually, before we do that, let's quickly check the marriage.
Yeah. So I will go back to Navamsa.
So Vimshotri Dasha, make it. Navamsa Vimshotri Dasha of the Rasi. Navamsa Vimshotri Dasha of the natal chart.
Yeah.
Rahu gave marriage, right?
It was 2002.
So Rahu
gave the marriage.
And if you see the 7th house from Lagna, Rahu is with the 5th Lord Mercury, right?
From Lagna with the 5th Lord Mercury, correct.
And he
is even some Purupunya there.
Yeah, and he's aspecting the 7th Lord Ketu, the co-lord of the 7th house Ketu. Okay, so Rahu has a link with 5th and 7th houses. He's joining there. Now, taking from Moon, does he have any link with the 5th house or 7th house?
He's having Rasa Drishti, but that we don't care with him, right?
No, he has Graha Drishti on the 7th house.
Yes, Graha Drishti on the 7th house.
Moreover, he's conjoining the 7th Lord Mercury. So from Moon, he's conjoining the 7th Lord and also aspecting the 7th house. So he has a strong link with the 7th house. Okay, so from Lagna and from Moon, he has a strong link with the 7th house. And from Sun,
basically he is...
See, Rahu has second house aspect also.
Argala.
Aspect. He has aspect, full aspect on 2nd house, 5th, 7th, 9th. So he has aspect on the 7th house also here. So he is having aspect on the 7th house. He's from Sun. He's having aspect on the 7th house from Moon and also conjoining 7th Lord from Moon. And from Lagna, he's aspecting the 7th Lord. So, so basically, based on
Rahu could strongly give the marriage.
Rahu can give marriage. So that makes sense. And childbirth. When did the childbirth occur?
2007 November.
2007 November. If you go to Saptamsa and also make Saptamsa Vimshotri Dasha, the Dasha that gave marriage was Jupiter. Saturn gave marriage.
Saturn kid.
Sorry, not marriage, kid. Saturn gave kid. Is it possible? Let us see.
So we go back, so it is the...
No.
Okay.
Keep it. Now,
it is
from Moon, from Sun, from Moon, let us see from all the references.
For
Sun,
Antardasa Lord or
first Dasa Lord. The fact that it did not happen in Jupiter, it had to wait till Jupiter Saturn means Jupiter is an okay candidate but not a strong candidate. Saturn must have been a better candidate. That is why it had to wait till Saturn, even though Jupiter is the Karaka. So, from Sun, Jupiter is the dispositor of the 5th Lord. The 5th Lord from Sun, if you see, Jupiter is the dispositor. And, right? And the 9th Lord, 9th is the house of fortune, so I'm seeing it. The 9th Lord is aspected by Jupiter. Of course, again, he is dispositor too. So he has a link with both 5th and 9th houses from Sun. See from Moon. Where is Moon? Here. If you see from Moon,
Saturn.
The 5th house and 9th house, if you see, the 9th house Jupiter has no link, but the 5th house he has Argala on it. The 5th house from Jupiter, but it's not a strong link. It's just Argala, and he's not aspecting the house or the house lord. And so it's a weak link. And from Lagna, the 5th house.
From Sun.
From Lagna. Sun we already saw. From Lagna, the fifth house is here, Scorpio. The Lord Mars is in Jupiter side. So, but he's not aspecting or anything. So there is some link, but it's not a very strong link. Now,
so that is why Jupiter wasn't, Jupiter didn't give it.
Jupiter didn't give it. Now let us see Saturn. Now in the case of Saturn, if you see, first see from Lagna,
he's in the fifth house.
From Lagna, he is the 7th and 8th lord, so he is a slight functional benefit. He's in the fifth house. So he is a slight functional benefit in the fifth house from Lagna. So he can give marriage. Now from Moon, the fifth house is Taurus.
He's aspecting.
He's the Lagna lord, he is aspecting Lagna. And also he is aspecting the fifth house. Right? He is also aspecting the fifth lord Venus by 10th aspect. So Lagna lord aspecting Lagna, aspecting fifth house with a friendly aspect. Aspecting fifth lord again with a friendly aspect, meaning Saturn and Venus are friends. So he has very strong link on the fifth from Moon and a pretty strong link on the fifth from Lagna because he occupies it right there. So two of the references he is covered. So irrespective of the third one, he has a potential to give marriage. Now to see the third one, the fifth house from Sun. Okay? The fifth house from Sun is Aries. And Saturn doesn't really have any link with it. But the Lord of it, Mars, Saturn has half aspect on it. So it is half aspect on the fifth lord. So it's not that strong, but the other factors are very strong. From Lagna, from Moon is extremely strong. So Saturn is a great candidate. So Jupiter Saturn ended up giving the marriage. Okay?
Yep. This sharp time can be taken as it is then.
Yeah. So this seems reasonable. Now let us see the
charge మీకు power కాలేమో.
This is a new computer that I got a few months back, so this works hours. Okay.
So D10, I'll go to D10 and D10 Navamsha.
Yeah. So the question is relating to Dashamsha. So let us go to Dashamsha. So Dashamsha, are we on a border in Dashamsha? Not really.
2 minutes, 6 minutes, yeah, it's not bad.
Let's assume that it's okay.
He's running Jupiter Mercury. So for his career to be unstable from 2007, so Jupiter, Saturn.
Once Jupiter basically kicked in, career has become unstable.
Correct. So it has nothing to do with Kid, it must be the Jupiter who is doing this.
Well, we'll see. Now, is Jupiter a good planet or a bad planet? What kind of combinations is it showing? See.
First thing, Jupiter is in the 12th house. He is a 6th lord.
Yeah.
He is a 3rd and 6th lord in 12th
From
house.
Lagna, he is the 3rd and 6th lord, a malefic, functional malefic. In the 12th house of Last, see, had he been alone, it would have been Vikret Raja. 6th lord in the 12th. But he is with Lagna lord Venus.
That makes it worse.
So, Lagna lord is debilitated and affected by enemy Jupiter. Okay? So, Lagna lord is affected by a functional malefic who is also an enemy. So, he is affecting Venus. So, that is Jupiter's main problem. Now, from Moon.
So, again, now that he is with Venus, the Vimla Yoga doesn't get applied. I mean,
what Vimla Yoga?
Not Vimla Yoga, the Viparit Raj Yoga does not get applied.
It kind of does, because Venus is also the 8th lord.
8th and 12th combination.
Yeah. 8th and 6th lords in the 12th.
Yeah.
Partially.
Right.
So towards the end of this dasha, actually some better things may happen. But bottom line is he is a malefic affecting Lagna lord. Lagna lord and 6th lord together is basically a Duryoga, Bardra Yoga. Now from Moon Lagna, Chandragna, how is Jupiter? He is the 8th and 11th lord. Again functional malefic. Affecting Lagna lord again. Debilitated Lagna lord Venus is affected by functional malefic Jupiter. So this Jupiter is affecting. Now Sun. From Sun let us see. Venus is a good planet. He is a Yokarka, but debilitated. Again Jupiter is a functional malefic, 3rd and 12th lord. So functional malefic afflicting Yokarka. So Jupiter from Sun.
Yeah.
So from all the three references, Jupiter is a functional malefic and afflicting either a Lagna lord or a Yokarka.
Both cases is weakening it.
Both cases?
Is weakening the Lagna lord or the...
Is basically weakening. So things are not looking auspicious.
So basically he is to propitiate the Jupiter in that case, or do something.
He needs to propitiate Jupiter as far as career is concerned. And what is the Antardasha right now?
2006 onwards, Jupiter.
Mercury Antardasha is running right now.
Right now it is Mercury until 2013.
Yeah. So my feeling is this Antardasha is a good Antardasha. From Lagna is Lord in 9th. From Moon he is the 5th Lord in one sign. Right? From and from Sun he is the 9th Lord in one sign. So from two references he is the 9th Lord in one sign. From the other reference he is the 5th Lord in one sign. So this Mercury may actually be fine. So,
but he's also the 6th Lord, right? He's the 9th, but he's also 6th, so that from Sun, so that could also be giving in.
Yeah, but 6th Lord in 6th is okay.
For sure.
So overall my feeling is, in this Jupiter Mahadasha, this Mercury Antardasha is actually fine.
But this is the Mercury Dasha when he lost his job.
I know. But the thing is, maybe it's the Prachanta Dasha. Bottom line is, this is a long period. This is basically
3 years.
Until 2030, February. So overall, this period has to be beneficial. So bottom line is, I don't expect this to be a long kind of drawn out kind of problem. So he is likely to find soon. Let us look at the annual chart for that. Recently his birthday happened, so look at 2011 chart.
This is Pravisha Tajaka chart. Imshotri of D10 Imshotri. Looking at 2011, 2012 Jupiter, Saturn.
So let us see how good the chart is. First of all, Lagna Lord is in 11th house.
Lagna Lord, Jupiter is in 11th house. That is good.
But he is afflicted by Venus. The
Rahu. No.
Rahu and Jupiter, 3rd and 6th Lord. So that is, he is not that strong. But 10th Lord is extremely powerful in 10th house. That is the greatest blessing. Now, when is Mercury Dasha?
2000.
See, right now is Rahu period running.
Correct.
Right? Rahu is in the 5th house, but he is the 3rd Lord of break. He is unlikely, and he is the 6th Lord Venus. So, I am not sure if he can give a break. And Jupiter, after November 22, till January 8, he can give a break. He can give a break, meaning he can give a lucky break.
But Jupiter, main Dasha was not.
I know, but in this chart, he is an auspicious planet. So Jupiter Dasha, there is a chance of marriage, chance of career, job. But Mercury is awesome. March, April time frame is really good. If it doesn't happen before that, in March, April, he will get a good opportunity. And if he already gets an opportunity before that, in that period, things will be smooth. There will be things, suddenly he will start enjoying the work. So, very soon his career will be on track. So, I am not concerned about his career. All the best to him. Don't worry too much. And worship Jupiter based on the natal chart. And for that, for Jupiter, what form can we suggest? Jupiter is in?
So, basically we are saying 2012 January is good. That is Jupiter December, January.
March, April is awesome. December, January is very interesting, very likely to get a job. Otherwise, March, April is guaranteed.
Yep. And the Jupiter, propitiate Jupiter.
Propitiate Jupiter. And what form can we suggest for Jupiter?
Jupiter is in
Mercury sign with debilitated Venus.
So we go back to natal chart.
Natal Dasha.
Is a debilitated Venus.
Yeah, debilitated Venus.
So any Guru form corresponding to so if he suggests in this case Gayatri is good.
Well, that is a possibility. But what I will suggest is for Jupiter, just do
Jupiter.
Just do Shiva. No, just do Shiva.
Sadasiva.
That should be sufficient. Or even doing Jupiter himself is fine. Basically,
Jupiter Navagraha Stotram.
Yeah, Navagraha Stotram. You can do that. So actually, Jupiter himself can be done. So two things: Jupiter worship, and for the child is not really bringing bad luck, but it coincides with some bad luck in his own chart until 2017, and it is a good idea.
Sankranti Dosha Shanti can be performed. Sankranti Dosha Shanti,
it is a good idea to perform. Okay? So these are the guidelines. Any other comments? Any other interesting observations?
So we don't consider the AL and Arudas in this case. We keep them aside totally.
For now. We will eventually.
Okay. And when it comes to annual, we are going to use Tajika on the not Tidhi Pravesh anymore right now.
Right. I just want to make one observation. One thing is, if you look at the stationary transits, make today's chart and go to mundane tab.
Mundane tab.
Mundane tab. Select after. Stationary transit mode. Under that, select Jupiter and after. Okay? So when will Jupiter be stationary after today's date? We are seeing December 30, 2011. And what longitude? 7 degree 26 minutes.
Stationary in the sense, what are we talking about is...
stationary transit meaning a planet, when it is going forward, suddenly it
starts to retrograde. So that point where it is going to be...
It will be for many days, it will be at the same point. It's basically going like this and then slowing down and then slowly starts to come back. So for a long time, it will be in the degrees, that 1/2 degree or degree range.
So that has a serious impact on
time, whatever natal positions in the divisional charts, are conjoined or aspected by those planets. If any interesting thing is conjoined or aspected, that will be triggered during that time. So these basically important events happen in a month plus or minus the stationary transits of Jupiter and Saturn. And you can see which house, good house or bad house, which is getting triggered.
And so why did we choose only Jupiter to see that in this case? That's because Jupiter...
slow moving planets. Jupiter and Saturn are the ones who trigger events. They're the ones slowly moving. So their stationary transits are very important. So Jupiter becomes stationary at 7.5 degree, approximately 7.5 degree Aries, right? Here.
7.5 degree Aries.
727 Aries.
On December
now go to the natal chart. In Dashamsha, are there any planets who are... See, are there any positions that are close to it? See, tell me. Are there any natal positions close to that?
Yeah, there is nobody coming close to it. 7.5 Aries, so...
Yeah,
7.5 Aries, there is nobody coming close to it.
In the nobody natal chart, see again, there is a planet.
Natal Dashamsha?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Natal Dashamsha of the person of Subbaro.
Oh, natal Dashamsha. Let me go. The Dashamsha D10.
Yeah.
Taurus Capricorn. Nobody in Aries, but nobody in Aries or in... Nobody comes in Aries.
Aspects also see. Are there any positions being aspected by 7.5 Aries?
By 7.5 Aries, if you see, we see 7.5.
What about Lagna?
Lagna is in Leo.
Yeah, what degree? I mean, assuming that this time is correct, it is around 8 degrees.
8 degrees.
Libra.
So it is a fifth aspect on Lagna?
No, seventh aspect.
No.
From Aries to Libra, right?
Oh, from Aries is the seventh aspect on Libra.
So, basically stationary Jupiter is aspecting the Lagna around that time. Which is quite auspicious. So, around that time basically, December, January month,
some new thing can get triggered.
Jupiter Dasha we saw, right, in the annual chart. That time actually shows the possibility of a new opportunity.
December, January.
Yeah. So good luck to him.
And what about if we take the Saturn, then?
Yeah, Saturn becomes stationary in February, around 5 degrees in Libra. And he doesn't really have any interesting aspects. Stationary transits happen many times, but the thing is, when they happen, it is not necessary that something interesting be happening there.
But the time when that, if Saturn has a good or some impact, good or bad influence, that can get triggered on the natal chart, whichever division chart it is.
Right. Okay.
This is good.
Okay. Any other questions, any comments?
Yeah, this is all what I have on this.
All the best to him.
Thanks, Sanjay.
And Sankranta Puja is a necessity for the kid.
Yeah, I'll suggest that.
Yeah.
Yep. It was this one.